Charlamagne is a commentator, podcaster. It's his job to hold her accountable. Stephen A. Smith is a commentator, podcaster. He's supposed to ask those questions. They were supposed to hold her accountable. And now I'm holding them accountable.
Next up with Tim Black.
I just covered Nick Fuentes, Piers Morgan on the Piers Morgan show. I already talked about Nick Fuentes. I want to talk about Piers Morgan, because I haven't heard many people talk about it. If you follow me on social, you already know what I'm about to say. For those who haven't, follow me. I'm Real Tim Black on X and Facebook. I'm Tim Black Show everywhere else. I made a post and I said, it's crazy. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Piers Morgan called out Nick Fuentes. He called Nick Fuentes out for all the foul shit Nick Fuentes said about Black Americans. Now, he didn't get all of it, but he got a lot of it. He spent the first half of his show, almost an hour, on Black Americans, on all the foul shit Nick said about Black people. He didn't just talk about it. He played a video and make Nick respond. He did this with like 4 or 5 clips, though. I don't know if you saw it, because I know some people's like, why are you talking about it? Don't talk about it. I'm talking about it because I got a reason. So Piers Morgan held Nick Fuentes accountable. A British broadcaster named Piers Morgan held Nick Fuentes accountable for things he said about Black Americans. I know people are going to say, Tim Black, man, he probably did that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to make points or whatever. I don't care why he did it. I said I don't care why he did it. I said he did it. I said a British broadcaster held Nick Fuentes accountable. Do you know Nick Fuentes is probably the most popular person on the right now? He pulls in more views than Tucker Carlson. He's second only to Candace Owens. If you brought Nick Fuentes on his platform on a more regular basis, he could always get a few million views out of it. He can make money repeatedly out of Nick. Tucker Carlson did. Various other people brought him on, right? Nick Fuentes. So what I'm saying is, Piers made a decision. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the guy on, but instead of making money, well, we gonna continue to do a lot of conversations together. I'm gonna hold his ass accountable. And I'm gonna go down the list of all the shit he said. And if he don't come back, that's a risk we want. We run the risk. You may not feel like that's important, but I do. It's important when people have to respond to the shit they've said about Black Americans. The vile shit they've said. In fact, Piers Morgan held Nick Fuentes accountable to the point where Nick Fuentes was screaming, "Uncle." There were various hot buttons that Piers Morgan brought up with Nick Fuentes. But it was about Black Americans, though. It doesn't mean Piers Morgan is a savior. It doesn't mean he's a saint. But he did his job. We don't walk around going, why he do it? It ain't up to us. It ain't your business why somebody do something. It's what they did. And it's also not your business why somebody doesn't do it. Piers Morgan held this guy accountable so much that he gonna make it hard for the sellouts to sell out. Because they ain't gonna be able to sell out and pretend that didn't happen. They're not gonna be able to sell out and act like they don't know what's going on. Make excuses. No, it was clear. There was no gray area. The dude is a racist. He thinks this about Black people. That's it. These three mother. When they had an opportunity to speak to Candace Owens, Charlamagne, when he had an opportunity to speak to Candace Owens, did he bring up her 10 years of shitting on Black people? No. No, he did not. He act like she didn't say shit. In fact, he tried to rehab her image. Hey, Candace, do you know how the Sugar Hill song go? Rappers Delight go? Remember that shit? This woman just said every negative thing she could think of to say about black people to put money in her pocket for 10 fucking years. And this guy, Charlamagne, gets her on the show. What does he talk about? Nothing. He spent half the time trying to make her not seem like the bed wench that she is. Not only did she spend 10 years with conservatives dragging black people, she gave all those conservatives a license to drag us as well. And gave them cover to say, hey, but this black woman says it too. She was that person for the right for a fucking decade. And Charlamagne Tha God had an opportunity to address her. He didn't even broach the issue. In fact, he tried to clean her up. He tried to black her up. Yeah, people just misunderstand me, Charlamagne, what I really think, you know? They don't really get me. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all the Democrats. I mean well when I say black people can't work together. Black people are violated. Black people this and black people that and all the other shit I've said. He didn't hold her feet to the fire on anything. He didn't play any clips of Candace Owens saying negative shit about black people. Piers Morgan did. He played 4, 5, 6 clips. Hit stop and said, what's this shit? It didn't take like groundbreaking journalism. Just play and let the guy talk. Explain this shit. And unlike Candace, Nick was like, I met that shit. He was like, I met it. That's good. That's good. It ain't about his response. It's the fact you got him to respond. It's the fact you held him accountable. So my point is Charlamagne Tha God had an opportunity to do the same thing. Expose a bad actor. Now, Candace Owens, she could have said, you know what? That was then, this is now. I effed up. I was wrong. My dog died. Somebody ran over my cousin. My son got shot. I don't know. I was going through a bad breakup. I'm schizophrenic. I'm bipolar. I got the gout. Whatever. She could have come up with a million reasons. She didn't even have to. She had to come up with anything. Charlamagne will never respond to me because I'm not big enough. I'm not Joe Budden. He will never respond. And his people won't question him. Angela Rye, people that go on his show, they won't question because everybody's the same. They all play the same game. No risk. Not put the people first. None of them will hold him accountable. Charlamagne would not hold Candace Owens accountable, and his people will not hold him accountable. He's not alone. He didn't invent being a sellout. He didn't invent the Sambo survival skills. Nah. Stephen A. Smith did the same shit. He's not as bad as Charlamagne in one way. The first interview Stephen A. Smith held with Candace Owens, he said, at some point, I'm going to talk to you about the things you said about Black America because I would be remiss if I did not discuss those things. But I'm not going to do that this time. I only got you for 20 minutes. I got some questions I want to ask you that are pertinent to this election that are going on now, but I would like to double back and talk to you about those things because my audience wants to hear it. And then he proceeded to interview her again and not ask her. So he lied. But at least he tried to cover his ass the first time. And he didn't get enough backlash. I'm sorry. He did not get enough backlash from doing that bullshit. That the second time he interviewed her, he had no reason at all to even bring it up. Let's keep it moving. Everybody else gave her a pass. Why should I mess up an opportunity to work with the biggest podcaster in the world? No accountability. What I'm telling you is, we need to take a wake-up call. And I do not want to sound like one of those people that say that shit, but I gotta say it. Our biggest enemy is us. At least in this situation it is. I mean, if a white British broadcaster rides harder for black people, and two of the most prominent podcasters who basically work for themselves, right? I mean, they both had businesses that are their own. Neither one of them stood up for us, but we got a white guy. We got a white guy from a British white guy who did ask tough questions. Held him accountable. So Stephen A. Smith, who will never respond to me because I'm not big enough. I'm not somebody he worked with. I'm not whoever that is, Curry Champion or Jamel Hill. He's got no reason to respond to me. What I'm saying, man, ignore him. Not because I'm infinitesimal. I'm not infinitesimal. I make a little bit of noise, you know what I'm saying? People know who the fuck I am. I interviewed down in Brazil. You know who the fuck I am. I roast rolling on a regular basis. I've been doing this too long. You ask AI who Tim Black is. AI knows. Stephen A. won't respond to me because what I'm saying, what he gonna say? What excuses he possibly could he make? Why you don't hold a Candace Owens, the most notorious. I mean, she was worse than Jason Whitlock with her shit. She was worse than Jesse Lee Peterson because she had an organization behind her. She had Turning Point USA. She was going to college campuses saying black people are fucked up. Black people are shit. Black people are violent. Black people don't deserve reparations. Black people are lazy. Black people, everything negative you can think. Candace Owens has said to young people and for money all across this country and beyond. This motherfucker that traveled out the country. Jesse Lee Peterson may be a clown. The Hodge twins are horrible. They are. They ain't traveling around the country doing it. They ain't in fucking UK shitting on black people. Now, we know she done rehabbed the image now. Now she's after the Jewish community and Israel, but really she's out of shot to Charlie Kirk. I wish Charlie Kirk never got shot. Not because I like Charlie Kirk, just because I'm tired of hearing her goddamn name. I'm tired of hearing her. I'm tired of hearing people say Candace Owens. I'm tired of it. Poor time, man. I wish she was still here just for that. I wish she would have survived just so she would shut the So I say all that, but you know what? My smoke ain't even for Stephen A. Smith. He gonna do what Stephen A. gonna do. And if I was expecting something out of Stephen A., I needed my fucking head examined. He showed who he was years ago. He ain't gonna answer questions, and he ain't gonna stand on business. You can't count on him. And if I was going to put my faith in Charlamagne, that'd have to be a moron too. Because Charlamagne just showed several times he ain't serious about nothing except Charlamagne. And the people he put around him to shield him from criticism. And he got a good set of people that do like this and block for his ass. All day long, just blocking. Not because they love him, but because he's useful. He's useful, he's helpful. Puts people in position. In turn, they owe him a favor. But you know what? After all that, truth is, my main criticism ain't even for them. My main criticism is for us. Yeah, my main criticism is not for Charlamagne or Stephen A. Smith, and not even for Candace Owens. It's of us. Because what I just discussed here tonight, we let those people who don't hold us down still be popular. Names still ring out. No repercussions. Oh, we'll strike Target. We'll boycott Target. We won't boycott motherfuckers that sell us out for chump change, to sell us out for clicks and views, from an interview with Candace Owens, who throw us under the bus, who ignore their responsibility to us when we built their platforms. Yeah, it'll be 20 videos about what we need to do, about some Karen. And yeah, and I don't like what the white lady did. I put out content about the Cinnabon dumpster diver lady. I did that. But that is nothing compared to what Stephen A. Smith and Charlamagne and Candace Owens. That shit right there, that's horrible, man. We let that happen to us. And we allow it. And I'm not saying all of us. I'm sure there's some of us. But if you believe like I do, there's really no excuse. And remember how I started this. I started, if you just joined, I started off by saying I made sacrifices. I'm not talking about some abstract shit. I had this audience, and then I didn't feel good about the fact that, hold on, I gotta stand up for Black Americans. We catching too much hell. This is going on. I gotta do something about it. What kind of brother am I if I'm not standing on business? And it took me 5-6 years to get back to where I'm at right now. So I'm not speaking from a position of not knowing that you can take a hit standing on business. I'm not a hypocrite. I had to do it myself. I did it myself. So when I say we need to be holding these people accountable, it's sort of like the people that left me this month because they don't like me talking about deportations. The people that are lost this month. The people that like me talking about Jasmine Crockett. They said, I'm leaving you, Tim Black, because we have nothing in common. Your politics has changed, and your politics is not in line with my politics. And fuck you. These are white people. How many black people left Stephen A? How many black people left Charlamagne? Because they saw what Piers Morgan did. They said, damn, why didn't Charlamagne and Stephen A. Smith do that for us? Why didn't they stand on business the way Piers Morgan don't owe black people nothing? How many black people watch Piers Morgan other than Mark Lamont Hill? How many Mark goes on there. I don't know how much you watch. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, unless he has somebody on there that we want to see. Amazing Lucas. My point is, Piers Morgan is not of the black culture, obviously. It's embarrassing that a white British broadcaster stood on more business with a white Mexican than black brothers said. Charlamagne, the hip-hop dude, he couldn't stand on business? We just gonna let that happen, huh? We just gonna let that happen. We just gonna act like nothing happened. We act like what I'm saying is nothing. I'm just gonna say all this shit and we gonna go about business. I'm gonna go to the next clip and nothing gonna happen, huh? We gonna say those who have the most don't have to do shit. There will be some people in the comments that will make excuses why Charlamagne should not have to stand on business. Why Stephen A. should not have to stand on business. As if having expectations of people that you support is a crazy thing. But you know what? White people had expectations of me. So as black Americans, we don't have expectations of people that we support. We don't have expectations of people that they keep putting out as if these people have anything to say for us. How many times do I hear Stephen A. say, well, as a black man and for the black community, how many times he saw a sentence like that? How many times do you hear Stephen A. say that? I hear him say it all the damn time, like he talking with somebody. He wasn't speaking for the black community when he talked to Candace Owens and didn't ask her why she said Juneteenth is a joke. When she was repeating them per capita bullshit statements about black on black crime. In fact, most of the horrible shit the little gremlin Fuentes is saying, he got that shit from Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Piers Morgan exposed them. They're exposed. You had this person on your platform, you did not stand on business. They should be held accountable for that. In fact, Candace Owens is the least culpable person. She the one who robbed the bank. She the one that sold the crack to the kids. She the one that took the old people's Social Security money. They're the ones that's supposed to police it. Charlamagne is a commentator, podcaster. It's his job to hold her accountable. Stephen A. Smith is a commentator, podcaster, showrunner, whatever you call it. He's supposed to ask those questions. She ain't supposed to do it for herself. She's supposed to come up with a way to get out of the hot seat. They're really the ones that should be held accountable. They were supposed to hold her accountable, and now I'm holding them accountable. And we don't hold our people accountable. If white people get to show us what accountability looks like, you don't think Piers Morgan couldn't make more money being friendly with Fuentes? You really don't think that? I think he could have made more money not having an adversarial relationship. He made a decision. Why come our people can't choose us? Pierce did. I don't care why. I don't care why he chose us. I don't care. Maybe he got a girl, or maybe he got a little something on the side. He like his chocolate, you know what I'm saying? He like dark chocolate. I don't know, maybe he like his coffee black. I don't know what's going on. I don't care. Maybe somebody's got paperwork on it. I don't know. Maybe he went to a Diddy party one time. I don't care. Somebody like, oh, you better. I don't know. I don't need to know why. I just need to know what happened. And we can't hold Charlamagne accountable. We can't hold Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to leave it there, fam. I said it. Y'all heard it. It is what it is. Those that know, I ain't got to convince. And those I can't convince, they don't know. My name is Tim Black. You're watching the most dangerous show in America. I want to say what's up to the Tim Black Wolfpack, the VIP members of the show, to keep this show running, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I may not like the fact some people got their panties in a bunch and didn't like what I was talking about, but I respect it because they stood on business. I stood on business. They stood on business. That's business. I disagree. Obviously, they do as well. You don't disagree with what Charlamagne did? You don't disagree with what Stephen A. Smith did? Let them know. Hashtag Black Truth Challenge. I'd like to have a conversation with them. I can't make it happen on my own because, too small. I might need y'all to help.
Catch Tim Black live on the most dangerous show in America, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Don't miss out on the real. Stay dangerous.